I'll tell you which Gentleman Society is the best. 3 men's fragrances with a unique twist. These are for someone who wants to smell good, but in a slightly different way. The original Society, Society Extreme and Society Ambrée are in a way based on the same sort of a scent core, but they are different. And in this video we're going to break down each and every one of them and discuss the good, the bad and everything in between. So my journey with this line started with the original Eau de Parfum. Then I bought Ambrée, which I liked so much that I decided to buy Extreme. The Society line goes in a different direction compared to the fantastic sort of core Gentleman line, but even though they are a bit different, I still feel they have that sort of a gentleman feel to them. Let me know in the comments if you know what I mean and which of these three you think is the best. So let's start with what they smell like. So the sort of a core Society scent DNA is based around a combination of clary sage, vetiver, narcissus and vanilla. So all three are woody and aromatic with a dose of vanilla and florals, but they are not the same. The original Eau de Parfum opens up in a fresh and aromatic way with sage, and quite early on you get the narcissus. To me the narcissus is green, heady and floral, but the way it comes across in this blend is masculine. A bit of cardamom makes it even more masculine, bringing the whole thing a bit of soft spicy warmth. The more it dries down, the more you get this sexy dose of vanilla together with a rich and nuanced woodiness and vetiver. So the dry down is mostly about this heady floral side together with vanilla, a creamy smooth kind of woodiness and vetiver. To me the original stands out in the line as the most floral one, and I also think it's quite unique and that it stands out against most other scents as well. I don't think it's similar to the other non-Society Gentlemen's, and I don't have anything like it except for the other two Societies. The narcissus makes it unique, the vanilla makes the whole thing attractive, and the woody side balances the whole thing and gives it a bit of depth. This is a very likable scent, but I'm gonna get to compliments and mass appeal in a short while. Society Eau de Parfum has a classy vibe with a bit of sexiness to it, and I think it can be worn throughout the year on pretty much any occasion. This works just as well for formal occasions as it does for casual ones. One bad thing is the projection, which is definitely not the best. This is just above average, and I do recommend topping it up if you're out for a long time. Longevity is sort of a decent, but do not expect something that lasts extremely long. Moving on to Gentleman Society Extreme. The opening is intensely fresh and bright with a minty and aromatic freshness. The combo of mint and sage is absolutely phenomenal, and I want to see more fragrances from other brands with that combo. The heart of it is when you start getting more of that sort of a Society DNA with the vetiver, narcissus and vanilla. It's woody and floral with vanilla. The mint and sage brings it a sexy dose of freshness, and you also get the main star of this fragrance, which is coffee. This is definitely not a warm dose of coffee. It's very smooth, creamy and more like a cold sweet latte rather than an espresso. The drawdown is where you get the more intense dose of woodiness and vanilla together with the coffee. A nuanced kind of woodiness with vanilla, that sexy combo of mint and sage and coffee giving the whole thing a unique twist. To me the floral side is put to the background in the Extreme, and I think is the least floral of the three. And to me it stands out thanks to the coffee and the mint and sage duo. This is a wicked compliment getter when sprayed properly, and the vibe of Society Extreme, at least to me, is a mix of sexiness and elegance. This is coffee done in a sexy way with that Givenchy Gentleman elegance to it. Performance is almost on the same level as the original Society Eau de Parfum. It's around average, but it has a way of lingering in the air even when you think it's gone. Society Extreme is not an overly warm or heavy scent, so I think it can be used throughout the year, but with a focus on spring, summer nights, fall and winter. Occasions are just like the Eau de Parfum in that it works for both casual and formal occasions. Definitely try it out on date nights. I do recommend bringing an atomizer with you if you decide to wear it when going out. Moving on to Society Ambrée. Society Ambrée really doesn't hold back when you spray it on. On me it opens up right away with a nuanced dose of tobacco and vanilla with clary sage in the background. Ambrée has changed at least a little bit since I bought it, and it feels a bit more nuanced now, as well as packing more of a punch right away. The more it dries down, the warmer and richer the whole thing gets. You get a prominent dose of tobacco and vanilla, and you also get a rich kind of woodiness at the base. The floral side comes through a bit as well, but much like Society Extreme, it feels a bit toned down in Ambrée if you compare it to the original. Society Ambrée has pearl balm in it, which gives it this warm, creamy, balsamic feel that's a bit spicy and earthy. The full dry down on my skin is pretty much all about warm tobacco and vanilla with a bit of sandalwood, and the whole thing is a bit sweet and balsamic. The intense tobacco and balsamic side of it definitely gives it a more mature and elegant vibe. The sweet vanilla brings it a bit of sexiness, but I feel this has an elegant vibe, but with an adventurous and flirty vibe to it. I definitely feel it leans more towards fall, winter, and sort of early spring. And definitely for formal and special occasions when you want to stand out or when you're going out. More like that rather than something you spray on for work or school. The more I've used Society Ambrée, the more it gives me Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille vibes. These two are definitely not the same, but I do feel that if you enjoy Tobacco Vanille, you'll most likely enjoy Society Ambrée as well. Let's do a quick recap and comparison. All three are woody, floral, and vanillic with vetiver and an aromatic side. But the original has the most intense dose of florals, and in a way, the OG also feels a bit less nuanced compared to the other two, but I do not feel it's a simple scent. Extreme expands on the original with more woodiness, but with a toned down dose of florals and instead focusing on coffee. A very noticeable difference is the intense mint and sage duo, which I think is epic and which is something you really can't find in the same way in the other two. Society Ambrée focuses more on sweet tobacco and vanilla with a less intense dose of woodiness and florals. It's definitely the warmest out of the three and also without a single doubt the least versatile. Let's compare them when it comes to mass appeal. Out of the three Society scents, Gentleman Society Extreme is definitely the most compliment getting one. After that comes the original and Ambrée. So let's take a look at the performance. Having worn them all quite a bit, on my skin at least, Ambrée is definitely the best performing one. This thing pops off my skin quite intensely, at least for a few hours. So the winner when it comes to performance is Ambrée. I keep going back and forth on the other two. Sometimes the Extreme performs a bit better, sometimes the Eau de Parfum is a bit stronger, so I do feel that both of the other two are sort of on the same level when it comes to performance. I do spray more with both the Eau de Parfum and the Extreme, whereas I really don't feel the need to overspray with Ambrée. So now that we've gone through what they smell like and compare them in different ways, it's time for me to rank them. This was definitely harder than I thought it would be. Mostly because the original Eau de Parfum smells even better now than before. And also because Ambrée's warmer and richer scent is so different compared to the other two. Ambrée's rich tobacco and vanilla scent is something that truly stands out. And I do like that it's a bolder version of the original. But at the same time, I really like the more sort of a balanced Eau de Parfum. Between these two, Ambrée is definitely richer and more opulent, but the more versatile Eau de Parfum is definitely the one I'm gonna wear more. That makes it so hard to decide between the two, and for a while I actually thought I enjoyed Ambrée more. But after going back and forth, I finally decided that I do prefer the OG Eau de Parfum over Ambrée. I love sweet tobacco and Ambrée smells great, but I really gotta be in the mood for it, whereas the OG feels more balanced and easier to wear. The one I think is the absolute best is the one that's easily the sexiest and to me the most addictive. To me, Extreme is Society done in a sexy way. I'm absolutely addicted to the duo of mint and sage, which really gives the whole thing a fantastic contrast against the vanilla and coffee. So Society Extreme is the best in the Society line and my absolute favorite. Now I want to know which of these you think is the best and how you would rank them all. Let me know in the comments, drop a like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.